Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. I got my paper pumpkin kit. This is January 2026, and it is called Special Delivery. It's going to be a sweet Valentine's Day card kit, that's for sure. About 4 times a year we get these really pretty boxes. And they're great to give as gifts, or you can cover this up or whatever you want to do and just, insert in whatever you want, which I do a lot. Also, for the January, February, and March, we have brand new dies, beautiful blooms. And this postage stamp die is going to go with, obviously special delivery. Then we have the word beautiful, a couple tulips, it looks like, and some stems. So let's see what this one is all about. We have the super cute, let me see if, there we go. Wait, the thingy's on the inside. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, this is pretty. I love images like this. Hearts, we have dies to cut out that circle. Not necessarily in here, but we have a punch that coordinates with pretty much all this. Cute wrapping paper, which I will save. You get a Poppy Parade block, or Stampin' Spot. Let's just pull all this out and see everything that's in here. Because this is my first time taking a look at this kit as well. I mean, I didn't even watch the corporate unboxing video. It's been kind of crazy this week. Okay, I'm gonna get this off, and we will see everything that we get in here. Okay, there we go. Where is, I'm trying to find the stamp set. There we go. That's what that looks like. And I always like these little typewritten fonts. I just think they're really cute. So the colors in this are going to be Blueberry Bushel, Bubble Bath, Darling Duckling, Garden Green, Mossy Meadow, Poppy Parade, and Gold. And this is what the die cuts look like when they're cut out. So you definitely want to pick up the die cuts there. Let's see what you get. Oh, cool. I'm going to have some fun making these alternatives, that's for sure. So, again, 9 cards, 3 of each design. So we have 3 of those. 3 of these. Let's check out our card bases. Or at least a couple of them, because it looks like we have 2 different size cards. I'm not sure. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to make some great alternatives out of this. And yeah, it looks like we do. That's gonna be Bubble Bath, and that's, basic white. And all these are Bubble Bath too. This other card base. Oh yeah, look at all that. I'm gonna have way too much fun with these alternatives. And there's where the gold comes in. These are large images too. And you get 3 of these sheets. I mean, that's huge. And I saw a bunch of little postage thingies down here. There they are. So we get 3 of those. You're gonna have leftovers like we always do. And I love, love, love these envelopes here. And then your adhesive, you get mini glue dots, and then you get a roll of tear and tape, half roll. One thing's for sure on our alternatives is when I was looking at the box, or the back of it, or just the box in general, perennial postage is going to coordinate beautifully with this paper pumpkin kit. And this large die here, it is no size in here, which is perfect because that means I can layer up really, really nice. It just gives you another layer to this perennial postage. And with that being said, I'm going to stop now. I'm going to put together our the kit cards, and then we will do alternatives. But I'll do the kit cards off screen, and then I'll be back with the kit cards and our alternatives and take some allergy medicine. And I will see you back in a few moments. Okay, I am back, and I made our kit cards, and they were really simple and cute. There's a little bit more stamping in the background that we normally do for kits, like right here and down here, so you want to pay attention to that when you're making your projects. But you can see the great dimension there. This card, you might get it a little bit confused because, you know, we have our IKEA directions, and it does, but it doesn't kind of explicitly state to this is that one card. It's still going to stand like that, but little angle, which is nice actually. And then you just adhere it to the top of that. With something like this too, for an alternative, if you wanted, you could turn it that way as well. So, you know, options. And I love these envelopes. Our next card, this one was fun to do. Again, more stamping on your card base, top and bottom. And then on top, this little postage image right there. And these are some of the cutouts. I just popped Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of that. And then stamped our sentiment in here and put it all together. This one is pretty, it's just got the dimensionals on the flower and on the sentiment, so it's pretty flat. This one here, this one is my favorite. What I did with this is I put down the sentiment at the very bottom first, and then that way I put, what I put on here? Stampin' Dimensionals, the mini that comes with a kit. So I got a stamp on these two here, and then I line them all up, starting with this one over here, and then I got this one over here, and then everything else just kind of fell into place. It was really, really even. So, I mean, this is just such a pretty kit, and I have a really easy first card for you to do, and that is going to focus on Blueberry Bushel, which is a color, I mean, I never, ever use that color, and they say don't say never. I don't use it. So I've got my paper trimmer here, and we're going to use one of our envelopes for the card front. So I want to cut it very, very close, like maybe here, this will like right over that line there, up top, if you can see, and let me see if you can see. Okay. Just, you know, a little bit. Because I don't, you know, I want it to open like this. So for this one, I'm going to move it down to here. And again, just a little teeny tiny bit over. And that is going to be it for that. Now I want to cut this down. So I want to have like a little bit of a margin. You know what? I'm just going to cut that flap off and, okay. And you save this. Oops, better pull it back. Save it for something. And then we are going to cut that off. Oh, whoa. This is when you know when you got to change your blade, when it does this. I might have to stop if I get another bad cut because, you know, I don't want to run out of envelopes or anything like that. Okay, so, we want this to be about 3 3/4. Because we got 4 1/4 across, that 1/2 inch. So right now, this is looking at, oh wow, 4 1/2. I'm going to 3 3/4 across. I'm going to shave off right now. I'm going to take off 3/8 of an inch. Okay, that cut's looking much better. But I'm still going to change the blade in between cards though. And I do want to, our card is going to be an A2 top folding blueberry bushel. And I know, you know what, that turned out. Okay, so for when you cut this panel down from your envelope, from, well, pretty much the top and the bottom, you know, you want to make sure that this is going to be 3 3/4 across. And how I did that was I shaved off 3/8 of an inch on each side. And so the bottom, I want that to be 5 1/2. And I know it's just a little bit longer because this was cut from an envelope. And you know what? I'm going to go, since my blade is kind of wonky. And if you don't have one of these, I got it from my my manicurist, okay? Use a nail file. It'll do the same thing just to get the uglies off there. And let's see how this fits. And are we looking good? I am happy. I can always trim it up at the bottom if I have to. So this is just a really simple card. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to keep these down here. It'd be great on the inside of the bottom, which was the plan. You know what? I'll just straighten them up later on. So I want to get, no, I don't want to do that yet. Let's decorate up the sides a little bit of our card. Okay, well, let's see how I did with that. Yeah, we're going to have to wing this one a little bit because or how about if I just turn it around? But not really, because I don't want to risk going off the paper. So I'm just going to pop that down right there and get out my blueberry bushel. Now, there were only 2 images that we didn't use on our cards, our kit cards, and it was the sentiment here of "You brighten my day," and then this flower. So I have decided to use the flower and just add, you know, a little bit something to that. Let's see if I can pop that in there, and hopefully you're not getting a headshot. But if you are, I do have a 10. I edit those out 9 times out of 10. And I am just going to twist and turn this around a little bit. And let's get this down there. So I hope that you guys had a good weekend and are having a good week so far, and we'll have a good weekend upcoming. What did we do? It's just been so crazy busy because I have a lot of house stuff going on right now as well. And that side looks way even, but you know what? We have a panel covering that up. And I'm also going to bring in some gold paper from Christmas. So that is going to be it for, I got to clean this off because, you know, blue's a fussy color too, especially this. And 9 times out of 10, it'll turn like purple. Maybe this color blue doesn't, but sometimes our blues will end up turning purple and it can get a little bit messy. It just depends on the blue. I'm going to get all this cleaned up now. So the next thing I want to do is, I brought in some gold strips and I cut these down to, you know, measurements, everything like that will be over on the blog at cindybdesigns.com. But these are 3/8 of an inch across by 5 1/2 down. And all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put some tear and tape on the back of this. And I have this old roll of skinny tear and tape that's only like 1/8 of an inch. wide. Bushel will be perfect. And I'm going to cut this rather than tear it. This came with the old paper pumpkin, not an old paper pumpkin kit, but that's where I got this from. Well, yeah, I guess it was old if I still have it. And I got that down both sides. Yeah, see, I got that on me too. The blue. Make sure your tape is down really well. And looks like I only did that one side. Okay. Grab the pokey tool. And I'm going to peel that off. And honestly, I'm just going to eyeball how much I want over here. And it's not going to be anything too wonky. It's just like 1/8 of an inch. Okay, I'm good with that. And then we will do the same thing to this other side here. And you know, I'm going to have to cut, whoa, that gold, you know, just trim it off just a teeny tiny bit. And remember, oh wow, see, this is not going good for me at all. This is older tape, and I think that's why it's getting a little bit crazy on me. Let's see if I can lift this up, and there we go. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to start at the top first, because that way, if I got to trim this one as well, it will all match up. Okay, so I got my, there we go. I'm happy with that. Then I'm just going to get my snips and get this off here at the very bottom. There we go. And this is just a really easy card to make. You know, it's clean and simple. And we are going to have it look like that, but I do want to get some more tear and tape on the back and get those secured better. Because we're going to adhere this panel to our card base with tear and tape too. Okay, just making sure I'm still even in the front. But if you could make this card several times over using the envelopes or whatever you have in your stash. And this is the only thing we're going to pop on it. And with that being said, it makes a very pretty, clean, simple, elegant card. And I really did not bring in too much at all. So we've got that. And I don't remember if I said this earlier, but remember the envelope paper is a lot thinner than our regular cardstock, like a lot. I mean, nothing too crazy, but, you know, a lot. To where you'll be able to notice it when you're playing around with it. So this will be okay because this roll's fairly new. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' and put that upside down. Because remember, this panel does hang over just a little bit. And I want it to hang over at that end so I can cut it. So I'm going to bet this all the way up there. Now see, this side turned out way better than that side, but no one's really going to see it. They're just going to see bits and pieces of that. And off to the side here, I'm pulling off the tear and tape. I should just do that on the screen in front of you. Okay, this is a not so pretty end here. So I'm going to bet that up there, you know, watch my left or right. And then I have that laid down. Let's see how we're looking so far. Pretty good. And I have nothing hanging over. It looked like I might, but I just didn't have it butted up against the L of my Stamparatus. Oh, I need that again because we need to pop our sentiment on the bottom here. I'm not going to add any twine, nothing to this, no embellishments, anything, because I think it stands great on its own. So I'm just going to pop that there and then pull. Let's do this little one here. Happy Valentine's. Get that down at the bottom. You know, I should have washed my hands after that. And normally I would have, but, you know, I just can't do it on camera all the time. Or like stop and come back. I mean, I can, I just didn't do it. That's not looking even to me, so I'm going to get right on top of this and try again. And I know this is crooked because right now I do have it at an angle because I'm trying to stay out of your line of sight here. Okay, I got that down. I need my, here it is. And I'm going to do the sentiment in, you know what? I was going to do early espresso, but let's go ahead and do Secret Sea because it's my favorite color. And it's not one of the colors. Where is it? Let's see. No, but you know what? It matches. You know, it goes. Everything's meant to go, so this goes. Okay, I'm committed. Man, I hope this works out. If not, don't do what I just did. Boy, did I look out right? Okay, I'm getting that all cleaned up now. And then get this set aside. And then for this card here, we're just in the home stretch. I'm moving a lot of things around, and I apologize because I know it gets kind of noisy a little bit. I added Stampin' Dimensionals to the back, or, you know, bones from the mini sheet that they gave us. And I'm just going to pop that. And that is it for the first card. Really simple, easy, pretty. I'll get around to doing something on the inside later and then clean this up and then probably pop it down at the bottom. So that is going to be it for our first card. And so let's move on to card number 2 now.